and then the guys are off tomorrow. So it'll be, our third good day of work and get them moving around really. Vaki will be out today. I think Lopez is going to be down today as well, so I think those two guys will probably be a few days here. Don't think they're major, but we'll let them see where they shake out. So, questions? Say it again.
So what happened to Roy?
Oh, he got stepped on. Yeah, got stepped on and kind of stepped and got twisted. Got stepped on with the cleat, and then the cleat twisted on top of his foot. So,
Last year, Manu was so raw, coming from college in Canada. I'm just curious, where have you seen him make the biggest gains having a year under his belt now?
Well, he's just in his training, he's gotten a year now with us, with Mike Clark and Josh Schuler and those guys. And so really training his body, has been big for him. He's begun to transform himself. And I would say that's the biggest, that's the biggest improvement. And then certainly there's things that he's getting more aware of, that he's learning. And, man, he'll take 2 steps up and then 1 step back, And so that's kind of where he's at. He'll have a good day, and then, there's a couple of things that'll slide that we got to keep working on with him. And he knows as long as he keeps pushing, he'll be fine. But, that's what he's got to do is learn from it, listen to what Hank's telling him and Steven and those veterans, and work on it, improve, and just get better every day.
What's he dealing with, and what did you like about his development?
I'm sorry.
With Sione. What's he dealing with, and what did you like about his development throughout the offseason?
Yeah, hamstring. Vaki's a guy that was unfortunate. We didn't have him for the spring. We were really high on him from an offensive standpoint, certainly special teams. I mean, he really helped us in special teams, and we feel like he could do that again. But offensively, just to see, what we could do with him, see if we could expand his role. We feel like just athletically, size-wise, explosiveness, power, there's versatility in what he can do. He might be able to play multiple roles, multiple positions. So this kind of sets us back, but he'll be in there rehabbing with Fish, getting it right, getting the strength back in it, and then we'll start over again.
We asked you in the spring, I'm sure we'll ask you when Pat to go on, just to see Aiden Hutchinson back on the field.
Mm-hmm.
What type of emotional lift, what type of football lift is seeing 97 back on the field give you and this team?
Yeah, well, it's good to see anytime you see, one of your guys that what he brings to your team. What he brings on the field, the production, the energy, the violence. It does give you a little boost, a little lift. For me, it's just good to see his confidence back in himself. That feels good to see. You can tell he has a lot of faith in where he's at right now. How it feels, the way he moves, the way he bends, the way he's coming off the edge, and that's only after 2 days. So it's pretty exciting. So it's good to have him back.
One guy we haven't heard much about is Miles Frazier. What's he dealing with, and is there a timetable for his return?
Knee, yeah. Probably, I don't know. Let's call it September, October. Let's say something like that. Is that good? All right.
We saw some other guys working with trainers yesterday, working their way back. Dorsey, Wingo, and Malcolm. I'm just curious, are any of those guys close to working their way back on the field?
I would say Dorsey's probably the closest of that group. We're hoping, late camp we get Dorsey back. He's doing well. He's running. His speed the speed is there. And now it's just about the transit. The being able to put your foot in the ground, make a transition, all of that. But he is progressing. He's getting better and better. So, Rodrigo, we've already talked about, just doing good, doing really good. But I think he's another October guy. Wingo's probably September.
With Ratledge, how do you go about bringing him along in a position he didn't play in college, and especially given that the center is such a kind of all-encompassing position, and a lot of mental aspects with identifying protection. Do you focus on technique? I mean, or are you also kind of teaching it holistically? How are you doing it, step by step?
Yeah, it is. It's you're getting it all at once. It's everything. It is. It's the mental and it's the technique of it. So yeah, we're putting a lot on him. He's drinking out of a fire hose right now, and but there's things that we saw with him in college, at Georgia, that we felt like, we think this guy can play center. We knew it was going to take some time, when that's something you haven't done in games. It's going to take a minute, but he has practiced it, and he's gotten a lot of reps at Georgia playing center, against some really good, competition out there in spring and stuff. So anyway. So we're excited. Like I say, we'll see where it goes, man. All he's got to do is keep working. It's only 2 days. I like where it's been versus the spring. It already feels better. It already feels more natural.
Are you going pads on Thursday?
What is today? Tuesday? Friday. We can't Thursday.
Dan, with Levi and Aleem down, it seems like maybe the obvious deficiencies, just some of the ability to get an edge, the pass rush from the interior there. Who are some guys you maybe got an eye on that can step up and maybe help you fill that void?
Yeah, I mean, I think really all of those guys are, it's an open, there again, it's kind of an open competition to see who can give us the most in there. We talked about Tyleek. We know Reader. I've already talked about Reader. He can edge and push the pocket. Look, we kind of like Cooper now. He's a young guy. Right. Let's see what he can do. We got Raekwon, a veteran guy. We've got some guys here, and I know we're Pascal and Aleem and all that. It's going to be a minute, but we feel pretty good about those guys, obviously. So we'll be all right. We'll find it, and if we need to fabricate it, we'll fabricate it.
More guys, he's playing a little bit of edge, kind of helping you out there too. What values he has is that he can sort of do a little bit of everything around the league.
That is the value. I mean, he's a jack of all trades, man. He as he's running by me yesterday, he wanted to make sure I knew he could play blocking tight end. So I'm telling you, kickoff return. Watch him. I mean, he's a pretty smooth athlete for a big man. Play the nose, play the three, play the big end. He's versatile, and that's why he just keeps competing to stay on rosters, man, because it's hard to ignore a guy like him. He does so many different jobs, if you get him to the game, you're going to be able to use him. I mean, there's no question, so but he's another guy.
What was your initial reaction when you found out you guys were going to be playing a Hall of Fame game? Obviously that pushed everything up, but what was your personal reaction when you found that out?
That it's, they want us there, and we'll be there. We're going to get good work.
Thanks, guys.
All right.